All right, thanks, Michael. Says it sounds good. So, guys, drop us a question, and while you guys are coming up with a question, then I think I'll start us out with kind of the stuff you brought up here, sitting on the table.
Yeah.
So this morning I was thinking, what might be something useful, a good little couple minutes of just talking through some basic tools. I personally am not a huge wrench turner. I've played with it some in the past, but I have found I'm much better at other things.
Like
So
turning the tide.
yes, wait, sure. So what I wanted to do is there's a lot of folks out there that if you're new to boating, new to owning a boat and all that kind of stuff, what are some good basic hand tools that you're going to need to do the stuff that you for sure, if obviously I'm thinking about the guy that is mainly going to bring the boat to us and have us do all the major maintenance, but there's some stuff that you got to have if
Well,
you're going to own a boat.
yeah, just emergency stuff. I didn't grab everything that I think you should have because that would have probably taken a while. But just minor things that you can have that can get you out of a pinch
Okay.
if something happens. Besides tools, it's always good to have like extra fuses.
Okay.
Even a spare prop. And if you got a Mercury that has the plastic hub in it to carry a spare hub. I didn't bring a prop wrench with me, but prop wrench.
Okay.
You can use a breaker bar with a 1 1/16 socket. And you can keep that in your boat, or you can keep it in your truck. Some people don't. It's hard to change a prop in the water. Um, uh, Fishing license, yeah, they do expire soon, so good eye or ear, either one. But the most basic thing that I would say somebody would need is an adjustable wrench.
Okay.
Because you can get by with a lot of stuff. And even if you, like, I brought a small one, but if you had a big one, you can actually change a prop with one of these if you had to.
Okay.
If you have a Yamaha, you need something to pull the cotter pin out. So I always use a pair of dikes. And you can pinch the top of the cotter pin and use a little lever against itself, and usually the bottom of the cotter pin is turned like that. So you can take this and kind of bend them straight, and then when you pull it out, it'll straighten them out and pull out.
Okay.
So that's good to have, and then you got something to cut things with. Besides your, whatever you use to cut your fishing line with, so you don't have to try to, use that to tear things up. Another nice handy thing to have, get you out of a pinch, is a zippy tie. So if you had like a power pole fail or something, you end up having to release the fluid, which you can put the power pole line. If you undo the power pole line, you put it in your reservoir.
Okay.
So when you lift it up, all the fluid doesn't pour all into your boat. So that's a good thing to know, because I've had guys complain about having to undo a power pole line and they just filled their boat with fluid. Well, they can take the cap off the power pole pump, stick the hose inside there. When they pull the pump up, it'll actually drain all the fluid into their pump.
Okay.
And then you have to have something to put it up. The zippy ties work good. If you use this size, you have to use several.
Right.
So it doesn't just fall back down. But you can get those real thick, big zippy ties or a bungee strap. But zippy ties get you out of a pinch. I always like to see people with a roll of electrical tape in case you need it.
Okay.
They make these handy dandy crimpers.
Okay.
It's got the little cutters on them, and they're small, so you don't have these big set of crimpers, a big set of cutters. So you can actually, if say you have a butt connector fail on a pump that came loose, it's hard to get it back in there. But if you have some extra butt connectors with you, you can cut your wires with it, and butt connect it with one little handy tool.
Gotcha.
If you're in a pinch and you don't have butt connectors, but you got a buddy who's an electrician, or you got some of these things that come in, various items you buy at the house for the house. These are actually, terminals for I don't know if that, it's a terminal for, a 110 outlet.
Right.
And this is temporary, so don't say,
Yeah.
well, it said I can use these to put all my wires
So
together.
don't hard install your stuff. That's to get you back
This
from
is to
being
get
on the
you
line
back
or get you through the
Get you
day.
through the day, so you can cut a wire. Like if a butt connector comes off, you can cut the wires and then strip some off, and then instead of just having to, hope that twisting it together and put some electrical tape on it will fix it. This will actually keep them together
Okay.
until you can get them permanently butt connected. So it's good to have depending on your engine. The four strokes aren't really as much of an issue. Some of the Mercuries I've actually seen, out of the box with a bad spark plug. So and
Okay.
especially some of the smaller motors, but sometimes they'll get a crack in the porcelain, and if you have an extra plug or extra set of plugs, you got a spark plug socket and a socket wrench ratcheting, you can get out of that pinch too. And another good thing to have is a set of standard and metric Allen wrenches, because every now and then a box lid, the little thing on the bottom that keeps your lids closed, that's what's on them.
Okay.
And then if you own a Skeeter, and you can get one of these little sets right here that's got all the little Dumaflaches in there,
Okay.
all the little bits, and then I would have one of these. It doesn't have to be a snap; it just be a operand, doesn't matter.
Okay.
But that gives you a lot of options, because Skeeter, most of their screws are Torx heads now.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you have to take something loose, or there's little back pieces in the corners, if you need to get to some of the connections, you have to actually have a Torx bit and unscrew that piece.
Like back into your batteries.
Yeah. And then all the little breakers and the distribution block is up underneath there. So it's good to have that to be able to take that off and deal with it. And then last but not least, some extra wire. Because you never know, wire may break and you're like, well, I'll cut it off. And then suddenly you're like this far away from where you need to get to. And you're like, deadgummit. I would use a different word, but deadgummit.
Right.
So
that's where some of these might come into.
Those are these, you butt connect it here, and then you got,
get you off the
if
water.
you only need 2 inches or 3 inches or a foot, and you got it right there.
All right.
And it don't have to be the same color as long as you know what it is. So that's all I got right there for
all right.
And if you had a whole set of sockets with a little toolbox and a set of wrenches, that would be ideal too. But this is just kind of basic, bare necessity kind of things, and you can build it up from there. But I would definitely consider getting either a little tackle box to keep your tools in.
Yep.
So they're not back there just flopping around.
Right.
Making a mess.
Is that a good idea to maybe have something like that on a pontoon as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because you never know. You could have just a loose battery terminal, and then some sand. I'd keep some emery cloth or some just regular sandpaper in case you've got a battery connection that's corroded.
Okay.
And you need to clean it off and then put it back on, and you might be good to go.
Well, guys, I hope that that somebody finds that helpful. We'll jump in. Looks like we got a few questions. Tim Hurd, don't forget, fishing license expire August 31st. That's a good reminder.
Yeah. And I was going to say earlier, if you have a comment, you can make just a comment, not a question. So thanks, Tim. You beat me to it.
All right. Here's a question, I think. 2004 Johnson 175, not running right. When you get on upper RPMs, try to bog down like it's not getting enough fuel, no fuel filter in line, and new bubble put on fuel line already.
Okay. It sounds like it's probably got an intruder engine, which is I don't know if they made the direct fuel injected ones for the Johnsons. I think they just did the intruder motor. So there's a lot of little things that can cause that issue. Most of the time on that engine, it's the fuel pump, the VRO pump usually has an issue. And I've seen people, just so you know, I've seen people buy aftermarket ones and they did the exact same thing.
Gotcha.
And they end up putting a factory one on there and it fixes it. You could have a fuel restriction in the boat. You could have a fuel pickup cracked, sucking air. There's a lot of little things that can cause that problem. If you don't suspect it's the engine, you suspect it's the boat, you can get a small 6-gallon gas tank and bypass your boat altogether.
Gotcha.
and run it, and that'll at least, isolate the tank and the fuel line and any restrictions in the boat from being an issue. And you can go straight to you can bypass the little coupler on the front, go past it and go straight to the fuel pump. And that'll at least give you an idea if you got a boat side issue or an engine side issue.
All right.
Other than that, you just kind of got to, figure out if it's, a fuel related problem. And a good way to do that is, you run the motor with the cowling off and have a buddy safely spray it with carburetor cleaner. If it picks up, then it's definitely a fuel problem, not electrical.
Okay.
So, but you have to kind of weigh that risk because it can be risky. I don't condone it. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, we've done it before, but it can be dangerous depending on the boat.
Gotcha.
Be careful.
All right. Well, thanks for that question, Daniel. Hopefully that's it's helpful. Billy Harrison, Mercury Pro XS 115. After the first 2-hour break-in, can you start to use the trim on the next 8 hours?
Absolutely. And I'm assuming it's a 4-stroke. You can actually start doing some wide open, open, like not long wide open runs, but like a minute at a time, and then back it back off to lower RPM. You should be tickling different RPM ranges at this point and changing your RPM up pretty consistently. That way you can break in the cylinder, in different places. The RPM actually causes harmonics. So
okay,
if you stay at 1 RPM too long, you're losing break in on different parts of that cylinder.
So it's very important to vary that RPM and not
and I'm not saying like constantly, like
right.
run 7 minutes at 3,500 RPMs and then go up to 37, and then after a little while you can go down to about 3,300 RPMs, and then 10-15 minutes do a wide open burst and then bring it back down.
All right. Hopefully that helps. I think we got the wrong show here. We're the crappie on Neely. That's
in the water.
Yeah, they're somewhere. So I will. We're not really doing much fishing talking this morning, but I know Lee Pitts, who is a crappie guide, both Neely and Weiss, was in here earlier, and it's tough. The whole bite.
Yeah, everybody's.
It is really tough out there. So. I can tell you where the crappie aren't biting. That's here at Bucks, because that seems to be where we are most of our time. So, all right. Well, guys, you got any more questions?
No.
I think
a few more minutes.
I think we'll go for just a couple of a little bit. We got some new boats in. Got some G3s delivered. Seen some new Falcons showing up.
Bentley.
Yep. Got a truckload of Bentleys when we showed up to work this morning. So we're slowly getting more boats. Not sure when the next load of Skeeters is coming in, but hopefully soon. Probably good to remind everybody that now wouldn't be an awful time to start scheduling any winter services that guys might need to get taken care of, whether it's winterization
in advance, because it's it's still busy.
Yeah. So guys, definitely don't wait till the last minute. If you want to schedule something now in October, November, December, give them a call at the service desk and get something on the calendar. That will probably make your life easier than wait until that last minute or wait until that first freeze, depending on what you need. Any other big stuff going on?
Vote. If you have local votes, today we had ours in Southside, so that's your voice.
Yep.
Be heard.
All right.
Go out and vote.
So go out and vote. And we're covering the gamut. We're talking politics. We're talking fishing. I thought those were two things you weren't supposed to talk about in public.
No, well, I wasn't going to talk about the political part. I just go vote.
Yeah. Go vote.
Whether it don't matter what you are, politically. If you don't vote, you don't have a voice.
I'm going to get out of here for lunch and go knock that out over in Rainbow City. So, well, I think, guys, that was a quick and dirty one. I appreciate the questions, but I'm not seeing any more pop in.
If you do have any more questions, just throw them in the comments.
Drop
on
them in
the
the comments
on the video, and we'll look over them for the next round.
We'll try and get you an answer, or save it for next week. But I know you got to get out of here and go take care of some stuff. Hey, we appreciate you too, Michael. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for those of y'all that spent some time. And if you're seeing this video later, again, don't hesitate. Ask the questions. And we're trying to do this every Tuesday morning for the Tech Tuesday or Double Monday.
And I did have a customer come in today. He was looking at some stuff I was doing to his boat. And he just reminded me that he watches every Tuesday. He just doesn't say anything. So thanks for all the guys who were watching. So if you do watch and you don't even want to say anything, just give us one of them little wavy hands so we know you're out there, because it's hard to see everybody that's on while we're talking.
Definitely. Yep. Give us the thumbs up. If you're watching over on YouTube, which if you're on Facebook, we do have a YouTube channel. We got some content over there. But if you're watching on YouTube, we would appreciate subscribing to the channel and dropping us a comment over there. It's been a lot of fun. We get a lot of interaction in the comments on YouTube and on Facebook. So, guys, hope y'all have an awesome day. Hope you get out and get some fishing done this week, or get out on the pontoon, or whatever your boat of choice is, and have some fun on the water. Be safe out there, and don't forget your fishing license in August. Right. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Thanks.
Goodbye.